Peoples. All right, y'all. We gonna slide in on a Stop TV. Joe Budden and his old co-host Mal from Rory and Mal podcast. Joe Budden sending them pops at him. They been into it. They all used to be in one podcast together called the Joe Budden Podcast. Really, we didn't name this podcast later. Then he made the Joe Budden Podcast and did stuff happen. This been about 5-6 years. It's been years it's going on. They still sending shots at each other. But I'm sliding on the Stop, man. He talk about Joe Budden fires back a Mal after they claim he makes $20 million a year. Which I hope the black man making his bread, man. I want to see what they talking about, though. Let's roll.
He don't never believe the accountant. Yo,
what's wrong with
God got the funniest sense. He don't believe the accountant.
Again?
He just never do it. He never believe it. I sent it to him. He didn't.
Joe Budden responds back to Mal. Yes, on the last episode of the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden had his end with Mal and made fun of how he doesn't believe in the accounting. For those of you that don't know, in an interview with Rosenberg, Rory and Mal opined about how nobody's making $20 million a month, though I truly believe they meant $20 million a year on Patreon.
Yeah. I don't make $20 million a month on Patreon. You know what I mean? I'm out here living a regular life. Neither does other people, but that's a whole nother conversation. Someone say neither does anybody. Yeah. No, but some would say neither does anybody.
And this harkened back to when Joe Budden, Rory, and Mal would go their separate ways on a series of allegations of thievery, laziness.
Not only did I not steal from you, you have never had anything worth me stealing from you.
Every time he paid for some of my money.
I forgot about that.
Every single time he paid for some of my money.
Those narratives would persist till this very moment we are in right now, with literally Joe Budden often being called a thief and Rory and Mal being called lazy hangers-ons who don't even try. Well,
this just ended, and I should be laughing. This is another. Well, I can't say black on black because Rory, of course, is non-black, but this is another non-violent black on black-ish situation where I feel like they see each other, which a lot of them have ran into each other. I don't know about Mal, but Rory has ran into Joe Budden and there ain't been no beef. So it's something I just like to highlight because I don't think it's gonna be no real fight, no real you know, it's just something that's crazy that's going on for years. And still interesting. People still watch it. I know I do. It would just be crazy what's going on.
I think we have to examine what this means, and what it does mean is that these guys still haven't let it go. They still have issues with each other over how everything went. And every time these guys make news, they're going to end up back at each other, taking little shots that might boil over into a serious issue. Because this has happened many times before. Remember the "it pains me" rant by Mal?
Every vacation he take a chick on, that's some of my money he using. And that pains him.
Damn.
The most money he ever made in his life, he made sit next to me. That pains him. I know that pains him.
Also, remember the countless rants by Joe where he called them the bare minimum boys?
Stop doing the bare minimum and expecting that to yield results. You are the bare minimum boys.
This is a vicious cycle, and it is not ending anytime soon. I expect Rory and Mal to get another deal, and then I expect Joe to get another deal, and this will keep going back and forth. But we are about 5 years out, right? These guys broke up all the way back in 2021, and it's about to be 2026. And if you look at their respective platforms,
that's
I think you can say Joe was ultimately right. I think in terms of how things played out for him, he has won the short-sighted battle. Like, as far as short-sighted, I mean like right now, as of this moment. I don't know if Rory and Mal have a play, but I don't think you can debate that when Joe Budden separated with Rory and Mal, the outcome of the business was strictly in his favor. Because now he's in a situation where he doesn't have to share the accounting with anybody. And
exactly,
sharing the accounting can have great consequences, because then people could interpret the accounting how they want. People can say, oh, this is how the accounting is. Why is this being spent there? Even though Rory and Mal were entitled to the accounting based on their contract, it still was very problematic and represented an issue for them, as I think Ian didn't like that deal. I wonder if Ian even constructed the deal that Joe put Rory.
And I just think that Joe Budden's show is just overall, this is just me, this is my opinion. Don't get me wrong. Rory and Mal, they cool. They seem like two cool laid back dudes, but sometimes that if media doesn't translate that well, it makes it harder and harder to keep watching their show. But Joe Budden, I'm telling you, Joe Budden them show to this day, it's like barbershop talk, it's like locker room talk. Like they kick it, they get loud, they cuss each other out, they be up there mad as fucking each other. Like that's the shit that happens on a normal basis. I'm in Chicago, I go into almost any barbershop, and that's how it is. That's what keeps people, you know, captivated, even outsiders. I'm like, man, these motherfuckers just cussing each other out and they still cool. They don't get it, so that's what makes them watch it. And then regular cats from the hood and stuff, they see it all the time, so that makes them watch it. Like, but don't get me wrong, Rory and Mal, they professional, they decent with their stuff. I'm never finna take it away from them, but I just see that's why Joe Budden stuff just keeps going up. I mean, now he gonna have to reinvent it again because we've been doing this for some years, but
because
you feel
I wouldn't imagine Ian would ever let something like that slide. But let me know what you think in the comments. But I also wanted to go in on this Kev on Stage interview because it gave insight into the Rory and Mal issue that was had with Joe Budden. So
I didn't see that
for the
either.
last 5 years, one of the biggest calling cards of the split is the accusation of, did Joe actually steal from Rory and Mal? Well, I think it's pretty clear that he didn't steal, but what he may have done, which I think is highly likely, is creative accounting. And Kev on Stage kind of broke it down when he was talking about his journey in Hollywood and how he's worked with certain studios, and there was always creative accounting done.
You'll be surprised how creative accounting can get when you don't want to pay somebody.
Now that right there is truly what the issue is in all of this. Was there creative accounting done by Joe Budden? You know, the idea that you kind of make it so that you're not turning a profit, so it's really hard to give everyone a raise, and if you do give someone a raise, it's gonna come because you are the person that looked out for everybody, you are the person that moved things around. I think that's truly what happened with Joe. And over time,
possibly, you know,
when Joe started to say things like, oh, I'm taking the money from the pull-up, oh, I'm taking the money from, you know, my other ventures and Revolt TV, and then, you know, that's why we haven't lost any money.
I'm gonna take that money that's earmarked for that to me personally, and I'm gonna move that here to make sure that all of my people are good.
That's respect.
Yeah, I would have said as Rory,
and that's what I see. I feel like if y'all had a case, why y'all didn't sue? And still out of fact, it's been 5 years now. Why the fuck y'all didn't sue if y'all had a case against Joe Budden? And that's what always make me feel like, no, y'all fucked up and signed some shit that y'all wasn't, or thought was more buddy than y'all thought, and wasn't reading them papers, which a lot of people do. I ain't gonna knock it shit. I probably did it too if I thought that was my homie. And that's what it was. Instead of just saying, man, I didn't read all the papers, I didn't read all the clauses, y'all keep trying to say a motherfucker ran off with y'all money. Like, no, we thought it was something that y'all didn't sign. I didn't read that fine print, because all of this, somebody would have sued. They ain't finna come to blows. They not finna try to rob Joe Budden. Why hasn't no paperwork getting solved? Because y'all would lose. They know they'd be wasting their money. They'd have touched some bread, so they could afford it if they had some money coming.
The pull-up is making money, and so is Revolt TV, but the Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Mal is losing money. That would make absolutely no sense. And what it was is creative accounting. Now, is creative accounting a bad thing?
Hey,
because I know in business, there's a lot of people who say creative accounting is just regular real life stuff. It's not necessarily evil things going on. But if you're a Rory and Mal and you signed up under the guise of friendship and always looking out for the friendship dynamic, then it could be problematic. And we also have to remember that between Rory and Mal, the only person who ever called Joe a thief was Mal. Mal was the one who said that, you know, Joe was stealing. He was the cat burglar. It was Rory.
I forgot about that one. Oh no, man, that's crazy. I'm gonna stop it right here. Still a good amount of the video left, man. Of course, I'm gonna link it down below. Hey, if y'all want Joe Budden media takes and everything, man, hey, Daddy for the stop, be on top of it. Check his shadow out, man. I'm telling y'all, man. But what y'all think, man? This is the never-ending war that's not gonna stop, man. But I think it's entertaining. I don't think it's gonna get violent. But who y'all think is right, Joe Budden or Mal? It's gonna go on forever, man. If y'all made this fine video, hit that like and subscribe to your boy, man. Cost y'all nothing. Does so much for me and my family, and I appreciate y'all. I'm out, y'all, though. Peace.